So it's been a few weeks now since we've really talked about the massive, giant, enormous, gargantuan purchase of ZeniMax by Microsoft. If you don't remember, ZeniMax is the parent company of, this little game studio called Bethesda, the guys that make Skyrim, Skyrim? Well, the purchase of ZeniMax by Microsoft honestly sent shockwaves through the gaming media, the gaming world, because the biggest question that then was immediately raised by everyone was, will the next Elder Scrolls game, will the next Doom, will the next generic Bethesda game be available on non-Microsoft systems? I mean, look, Microsoft spent $7.5 billion to buy ZeniMax. So a lot of people said, well, hey, the next Bethesda game will have to come out multi-platform because Microsoft needs to recoup that money, and they can't possibly make that much money back by not releasing it on other platforms, but releasing on their limited platforms, only Xbox systems, right? Well, look, guys, I'm not a businessman. I'm not an expert in finances and so forth, but maybe there is a way for this to work. Maybe when you look at Game Pass $15 at a time, and maybe if you look at Microsoft saying just last month that they have 15 million subscribers and that number had grown by 60% in the last handful of months, maybe this actually is something that they could do. Maybe Microsoft could financially stand to make Bethesda games exclusive to their platform. Well, let's muddy the water just a little bit more because we have an interview here actually that Phil Spencer gave to Windows Central. In this interview, I've got a paragraph here that we're just gonna go over the whole paragraph because all the context is really important. He says, quote, "This deal was not done to take away games from another player base like that. Nowhere in the documentation that we put together was, how do we keep others from playing these games? We want more people to be able to play games, not fewer people to be able to play games. But I'll also say in the model, I'm just answering the question directly, which the question was, do you have to make these games multi-platform? When I think about where people are going to be playing and the number of devices that we had, and we have xCloud, we have PC and Game Pass and our console base, I don't have to go ship those games on any other platform other than the platforms we support in order to kind of make the deal work for us, whatever that means." So to the direct question of, could Microsoft recoup its $7.5 billion investment without shipping the Elder Scrolls 6 on PS5? The answer was yes. Yes, we can make our money back without shipping this on anything but Microsoft hardware and through Game Pass and xCloud. Now, it's important to note here that he did caveat this by saying this was not our intent to take games away from people. Microsoft has actually been really forward-thinking and pro-gamer in the sense that games like Minecraft that they now own are continuing to be published and updated on non-Microsoft systems. They push for cross-play and things like this when PlayStation really didn't seem like they had any interest in doing this. However, when you take this and you go back to the only prior quotes that we really had, where basically what was said was, we're going to publish these games multi-platform or exclusive on a case-by-case situation, a case-by-case basis. You couple that with him saying, look, we don't have to publish these games anywhere but on our platforms, and we can make all the money that we need. 15 million people with $15 a month Game Pass, potentially $10 to $15 a month Game Pass. All you need is time. I honestly don't know how to read this quote. You could take it as sort of almost a threat, kind of. You could take it as Phil Spencer looking at PlayStation and saying, we don't need you. We can take these big giant games, these games that have traditionally been PlayStation games, we can take them. They're ours now. We own them. And if we don't want Elder Scrolls 6 to be on PlayStation 5, we don't need it there. But maybe you could look at it as them saying, maybe Sony, maybe PlayStation, maybe you want to play nice. Maybe you want to make the world a better place for gamers. Maybe you want to make the world a better place for Xbox. And maybe we'll play ball with you. They've got the leverage right now. This is a big bunch of exclusive games that Bethesda, ZeniMax, and all of these sub-companies that they produce. The leverage is in Microsoft's favor right now. Really interesting. It came across like a major flex by Phil Spencer. To me, maybe I'm reading it differently. I'd love to know your guys' interpretations in the comments down below. We'll be covering all this as these new consoles launch, as these games progress. Obviously, some of these games already had exclusivity deals with PlayStation, so even though Microsoft now owns those games, they're going to honor those contracts. So games like Deathloop will still come out on PS5, and in fact, it'll be exclusive to PS5 for a limited amount of time, even though Microsoft owns the game. Super fascinating, whole new world we're dealing with right now. So for more coverage of Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and all of these sorts of gaming and tech related things, stay tuned to the channel, and until the next videos do arrive, stay nerdy, my friends. If you enjoy my content, please consider becoming a Scary If Literal member. You'll get access to a whole bunch of emoticons to use with live streams and a shout out on an upcoming video. Thanks as always for your continued support.